Hi guys. So your goal today is just to decide how you're going to organize your evidence into your body paragraphs. There's several different ways to do this, and none of them are wrong, but it is likely that one of them is going to be better than the others for you based on what research you've done so far. So the decision you make today is not just going to be random. You're going to go into your research, go into your source gathering sheet and decide which layout for my evidence makes most sense. So our first um, our first option, option A, I'm calling it. In that, it's the first body paragraph would be focused entirely on one historical example that you want to feature because you think it's strong evidence. So in my case, like I had a whole lot of research on how the LGBTQ movement used court cases. So I may want to dedicate a whole body paragraph to that because I have a lot of information and I think it's a good example. Then in your second body paragraph, in that case, you go over several other examples, but in much less detail. So you just mention things. So you might want to do that, say, if you have a lot of information about the muckrakers and you just want to talk about the muckrakers in the first paragraph, and then in the second paragraph, you talk about a couple different things. The second one also is focused on historical examples, but in this case, there's no feature. In this case, you'll divide your paragraphs based on like buckets of historical examples. So maybe you find that in your research, you have some examples that are from the past and then some that are modern. You could write your whole first paragraph in which you mention your historical examples from the past, and your whole second one about modern examples of labor unions or whatever it is. You could also divide differently there. You could divide, say, in my court case example, I could have the first paragraph just on cases that gave more rights to people who are accused of crimes. And the second body paragraph could be just focused on cases that have to do with protecting religious freedom. The whole point is in both, you're going to talk about several examples, but they're sort of each grouped under a different category or bucket. Then option C. First, I would not choose option C unless your research is not focused primarily on historical examples. So some people did a lot of research on civil disobedience in general or investigative journalism in general rather than historical examples of doing it. If that's you want to choose option C. Because in this case, you're not basing the paragraphs around historical examples, but rather like overall reasons that this is a strong way to create social change. For example, your first body paragraph could be about how investigative journalism is good because it informs the public, and an informed public is really important. And the second paragraph could be about the value of it putting pressure on lawmakers to make change. Or if it's civil disobedience, you could talk about its value in drawing attention to unfair laws. And the second paragraph is all about creating a sense of urgency with civil disobedience. So in that case, you're not focused on historical examples, you're focused on sort of reasons, like one in each paragraph, but there is still a logical flow. You're not just grouping your evidence willy-nilly. So as soon as this video ends, what you're gonna do is open your source gathering sheet, look critically at your evidence and think about which of these structures makes more sense to you. Like which one do you think fits your evidence best? Because once you let us know that, I'll be able to supply you with an outline that really is specifically oriented towards your way of organizing things. So good luck. Watch the video again if you don't understand the options exactly. There's also examples on the final slide.